Are you fucking serious? I wasn't. I understand it's something that it's like, oh yeah, but just use the gun medium range. It might perform really well, but it's just, what the fuck? My camera's gone out now? What's up, guys? I hope you guys enjoyed that. So those were the two bloopers I had of me recording and then having stuff happen to the video. So yeah, this is my third time recording the video. Hopefully this goes well. Hopefully we can get through the whole video without yet another blooper. Um yes. So we're talking about the engineer class, probably my most played class in Delta Force. Absolutely love it. I think some other people, obviously prefer medic and recon and assault a lot more, but I've definitely been that tank killer guy, and also the fact of just I love the abilities on the class and everything. So the guns, I figured why not make an actual tier list for the guns. Now I know I made the assault class one, and that one's been doing really well. I do appreciate everybody that has been commenting and viewing it as well. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this video, simply because I think a lot of the engineer guns are they're good ones, but there's a lot of guns in the other classes that are way more dominant than the engineer class. So I'm hoping, and I don't think we will get one, but I'm really hoping that we can kind of get some guns that maybe can be used across like the assault and engineer. So like the F2000, and maybe some other guns that would just kind of be really really good in terms of like where the Scar H has now been even just added to the recon class or something like that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. This definitely will be a list that I have to update in the future. However, want to state a few things. First, this is my opinion on the guns, and the loadouts, and I've used every gun except for the shotguns a lot of the times. But I know the shotguns are good. They're very situational. I'm just not a huge shotgun user. I just never have been in any game. Two, please comment down below. Please, please, please let me know. Oh, you put that gun at beta tier, but I really use it. I have this loadout, or oh, blah blah blah. I really love to see the opinions. There was someone that said something about the QBZ. I did play around with the QBZ. Definitely a decent gun still. It's not like top tier, but I definitely saw what they meant in terms of the control and stability. So please put it down below. Especially there was also that one guy that was like, shotguns are really overpowered. This is a very bad tier list. I was like, I still think they're very situational. So gotta disagree. And on that point, I am gonna be putting all shotguns again as very situational. And if I'm really honest, I don't think shotguns are really, really good on the engineer class. Simply because other than maybe Luru and maybe the new operator, the operator does have the grappling hook, and the operator is get Sivia is getting buffed and everything. But I haven't tried actually using a grappling hook and then trying to shotgun the person. I don't know if you could do this them at the same time. But yeah, it's just something of it's really hard to hit that grappling hook anyways, because the minute you're trying to grapple someone, they are already shooting at you. So yeah, it's kind of hit and miss, that sort of thing. Anyways, we're also going to go over some of the guns that are generational, like, that you can use on other classes. So the M16A4, I am going to be putting as buff, please. I think I've been asking for a buff for this gun again, simply because it's one of the burst guns in the game, and it just really, yeah, I gotta be honest, it just sucks. It's like as long as you're not detected and you're medium range and you can hit your shots and you can hit your bursts, the minute you hit the first burst, most likely that person is gonna start running unless they're not paying attention. So yeah, it's something where you're not gonna get that instant three burst into the head, and it's gonna take at least 2 to 3 bursts to hopefully kill that person. You might not. So yeah, I think the M16A4 definitely needs to get buffed. You can for sure use the M16A4, and it can go pretty well, but still I think there's just better guns than the M16A4. The Car 15, I'm going to be putting it at the alpha tier actually instead of the beta tier. I think it's actually a pretty decent gun. I've been getting killed by it a lot lately. I think obviously it's a new season, but overall, it's actually not that bad of a gun. I think if you have the right loadout for it as well, it can really, really perform. And the fact that you can use it across all classes, it's very universal. So yeah. And then Now into the nitty gritty, the actual guns for the engineer class that are made for the engineer class only. Well, not only because there's now two guns that are also in the recon class, but yeah, the QJB is the new gun. I'm going to be stating this. This is my guess. Obviously, I have not played with this gun. And then looking at the fire rate and the damage, I think the fire rate's going to make up for the really low damage. I think it's damage is only at 21, but its fire rate's almost 800. It's really going to depend on the build you can do with it. What attachments can you actually change? Is it going to be like the PKM where you can't change the magazine, which is, or is it the M250? I think that where you can't change the magazine size, which is extremely annoying. I think the PKM you can change the magazine to a higher one. That's what it is. So yeah, I really hope with the QJB you can actually make the QJB into maybe like the MT49 where it has a 45 round mag or 60 round mag, because then it's going to allow you to handle the gun a bit faster and allows you to, I think, do really well up close, because I think with a lot of machine guns, they're really good at medium range, but you need to ensure that you have a really good loadout for it in order to more or less, handle some of the other big guns like the M4A1, CI19, SMG 45, the SG. These are all guns that everybody's really using that are super meta right now. So, yeah, we'll go over the M2 the M250 right now, and I'm actually gonna put the M250, in my opinion, as beta tier. There's no hate on this gun. You do unlock it, I think, on the last level. I think it's like level 50 or level 40 or something. But the gun overall is okay. I think for machine gun, the PKM and the M249 are better. The M250, I feel like you really do, and it has a really slow fire rate. It's really one of those guns you kind of need to stay medium to long range with it. And then it will perform. But overall, I don't know. I feel like there's just way better guns to use rather than the M250. And it is a bit sad because it's one of those newer machine guns to use because it got added in after the beta. And yeah, I don't know. It's just the other machine guns, in my opinion, I think are going to be better than it. Or, well, the new one's going to be better than it, I think. And then also the other two machine guns are just definitely better than it. So, yeah. M250, I think it's okay machine gun. It's not, you can't hit shots. It's very stable, but the fire rate on it is so bad that sometimes close to medium range you might get screwed over by a gun that is as stable as that one. Like, the CI19, it's very stable assault rifle. You can get beamed by it versus, with the fire rate of the M250, you probably will lose. So yeah, it's definitely a gun though that you can make the right loadout and it could work for you. If it works for you, I'm so happy for you. So yeah, the M249, I'm actually going to be putting the M249 as alpha tier. I think it was one of my first guns that I actually was started to use on the engineer class because I did play a lot of the Scar H in the beta. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to use the 249, and man, does it rip! It has the fastest fire rate in the whole engineer class, and I think the engineer class is probably the one class that struggles the most with all the guns compared to the others due to the fact that all of the guns have, all the guns are kind of like machine guns or marksman rifles or marksman slash assault rifle type things, like the Scar H, the M7. So it's something where, or the AUG, where, and the two, yeah, it's just all guns that are basically 20 round mags or something that's then turned into an assault rifle more or less. So yeah, definitely the engineer class has, this is the only gun that it has that can shoot the fastest. I think it's almost 900 bullets per minute or something like that. It's crazy. But I definitely need to do a better load at it on it because of the fact that the stability has been kind of changed with the flinch being increased and everything. So yeah, overall the M49 is still a really good gun. I think it's a really good base gun to use for the engineer class to kind of get used to some of the machine guns, because you can shred people with this gun, and especially even when I had the bigger magazine and everything, you would just rip through people like butter. It was so nice, so beautiful. So yeah, the G3. I'm gonna be putting the G3 as beta tier. Um, I made recently a really good loadout. You're actually seeing the loadout on the screen right now. Really, really good. However, man, does it take too many bullets to kill people sometimes. And the fire rate is so bad. I think the fire rate's like 585. It's so tough to use when you're trying to get that 3-4 bullet kill and you're not getting it with the G3. It's very, very stable, and the control on the gun is really nice. But there's just better guns in the class that it's like, why put yourself through the pain of using the G3? To the people that use the G3, I have some crazy clips with the G3. I literally have a clip on my computer that's called Insane G3 Gameplay, because I think I went like 70, I had like 70, 80 kills with it. It was an amazing game with the G3. But the other guns in the class are just, I think, are there's just better guns, definitely more superior guns than the G3. So yeah, overall, yeah, I think it's a beta tier. You can get a good loadout for it, and you could definitely work for you. But yeah, the M14. I'm gonna put this as beta tier as well. Um, I think I have a really funny story with this. The fact that there was a guy that he was using the M14. Didn't know this was a fully automatic gun, by the way, as well. And yeah, he just beamed me and like 3 or 4 other people instantly in the head through the smoke. We didn't even have like a tracer on us or anything. Oh, you've been tracked. Nothing. And I was like, yeah, I think this guy's hacking. I typed in his chat. I was like, guys, I think I gotta report this guy. He's hacking. And there was loads of other people like, yeah, he's hacking. And that guy got reported, and he immediately got banned. After the game, it was like, we got the whole notification. Oh, this player has been taken action against and all that stuff. So it was great. It was great to know that the M14, I was like, is not that good. I did give it a try after that though, just to make sure I wasn't bugging out. And it's not a bad gun, but the fire rate also is extremely high. But it's not a gun that's as stable as the M249 in my opinion. And it's not a bad thing, but it's just something of, with the fire rate and not being able to make a build that you can actually fully control the gun while it's that fast of a fire rate. It's just not. It doesn't feel like it's a usable gun compared to the other guns. Like, I would choose the G3 over the M14 100%. I think I should kind of do this where like I put the gun I would prefer. Actually, yeah, I am gonna do that. So like, this is kind of like tier list, but in a tier list. So like, in beta tier, this is probably the best beta gun you can play compared to the other. So yeah, for sure, definitely think the G3 is a nice gun, but is it alpha tier? Definitely not. I don't think so. Or king tier? Definitely not. So yeah, the AUG. I've always loved the AUG. I've been seeing some people use the AUG a little bit more, um, but overall, I think the thing about the AUG that makes it so good, but also it's kind of funny, is the fact that the AUG sometimes takes so many bullets to sometimes kill people, but the control and stability is so good on the gun that you're just kind of peppering people like you just beaming each one, and I just love it. Honestly, it's a great gun. I think it's an easy gun to make a loadout for as well, because the stock and the check pad are kind of something you can't change, and it just gives you a straight good buffs on them that you kind of like don't want to not use them because they give you good stats. So it's a really, really good gun to make a nice loadout for. I think you just need to make the right loadout for the AUG for it to be really, really good. But definitely beams. Definitely, I actually used the gun in the tournament where it was the regional tournament. I did pretty well with the gun. I was able to really pick people off that were just running around, not realizing that this gun can actually laser beam you. So yeah. Ash. I'm actually going to put the Ash as buff, please. Simply because I have seen some people go, oh, but you can load out that could like 3-shot people and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, man, but I don't want to put myself through the trouble of using this gun having to make a super control and super stability type loadout for the gun to still be kicking like a horse. Like it hits like a truck, but it also just vertical recoil out of the ass with this gun, and it's just something where it's not a totally bad gun because if you do hit your shots, you're probably gonna be killing them in 2 3 bullets. But I can do that with other guns. You know what I mean? And I can do that with other guns without stressing of pulling down so much on my mouse in order to control the vertical recoil. That is just yeah, is it's just good. It's just like, but I will say this, just yeah. I don't know. I can't say anything else about the Ash. If you have a good load up for the Ash, or you really like the Ash, then so be it. But I've been probably killed by this gun 20 times, and I've played so many matches. I've definitely not been killed by this gun like a lot. I've definitely been killed more by like certain pistols than this gun. Like that's a bit sad. I shouldn't be getting killed by the G17 regular default pistol more than this gun. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, the M7. I'm actually going to put the M7 behind the AUG in terms of king tier because I love the M7 a lot, but I think that the biggest struggle with the M7 is the vertical recoil with the stability. I've been trying to work really, really well on getting a new loadout for the gun. It is still a great gun. However, I think overall with the M7, my biggest thing to suggest is the damage is really there. If you can make a loadout that can have high control and high stability, definitely go for it. Sometimes you have to kind of use the 30 round mag instead of the 45 round mag, simply because the handling can be so bad on this gun that unless you're using a laser and you're using the kind of like side image view, then yeah, it's still a really really good gun. I know it kind of sounds like I'm like battering it down, but I would choose the M7 over a lot of these other guns right now. And it is still a deadly gun. I think once you get the right loadout on it, it is nasty. And I think just with the fact that with the new flinch being increased and everything, you kind of really need a bit more of a stable M7 that you can really just you can beam people down with this gun, and it packs a punch because it is technically like a marksman rifle. So yeah, definitely worth using. The PKM, I'm actually going to put it as king tier. I think the PKM is pretty nasty of a gun. Um, it does so much damage and it has such good fire rate, and it's really really accurate. The biggest struggle for the PKM, of course, is up close, but that's like any gun kind of in the engineer class, really, due to the fact of its fire rate, yet again, where you will lose to guns, the submachine guns, you'll lose to the, assault rifles that are shooting faster. It's just something that is the biggest negative of the engineer class. But is the gun great? The PKM is. I leveled this gun up so fast. I was like, damn, I can't believe I actually got it max level already because since level 1 to even like level 10, it was with the few attachments I had, I was able to just mow people down and it felt really great. It's definitely one of those guns that you could definitely use for a while until you get some of the other guns that are kind of in the tier list. So yeah. And last but not least, probably my most favorite gun in the game. Probably not ever, but yeah, it's definitely my most favorite gun in the game is the Scar H. I think the Scar H is just nasty of a gun. Um, the minute you get a good loadout on it, I have been kind of going back and forth between the 30 round mag and the 50 round mag. It's super strong. I think, and I am gonna say this. I am kind of glad that Scar H is also not on the medic class because it used to previously be on the medic class, and it was ridiculous. And the fact that now the recon class has it is a bit annoying because it is a really really good gun, and it's again one of the only guns that the engineer class kind of has that nice even battlefield with that this gun can compare to fighting guns like the M4 and the CI. The Scar H does, struggle up close again due to the fire rate, but the damage is so high. It's really, really nice. And I think it's a great gun. I think I really can't complain. I have a great loadout for it, and it really, really works for me. I've been just, I'm so close to wanting to go all out this season just to get the new custom build Scar, where you can get the little video game on it, and it has tracer rounds and all that, because it's just such a nice, it's a nice gun. And I just think everyone that plays the engineer class will probably use the Scar H because it's just really, really good. So yeah. Um. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great time. I hope you guys also did enjoy this video, because honestly, I'm just trying to do these little guides that, maybe you guys can agree, do help out in terms of deciding which kind of gun you're going to be focusing on leveling up or using. So, yeah. Anyways, have a great one, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget, please, leave the comments down below. Definitely need it. So, I'll see you guys. Peace.